Hannah was one of Elkanah's wives. She had no children and felt disgrace. His other wife Peninnah had many children. Elkanah went to the temple to worship and offer sacrifices. Then he gave meat to each wife and child, but on Hannah's plate he gave twice as much. Year after year, Peninnah would tease poor Hannah and make her cry, because the Lord had closed her womb. Hannah's sinking heart ached deep inside. Elkanah loved his wife, and he asked, "Why are you so downhearted, my wife? Am I not worth 10 sons to you?" One day, on a temple visit, Hannah stood as she finished her meal. Nearby, priest Eli saw her pray and cry out to the Lord with such zeal, "Almighty, please remember me. Please bless your servant with a son. I vow to give him back to you." Hannah's lips moved without sound. Priest Eli thought that something was wrong. "No," said Hannah, "I'm just praying for joy I have wanted so long." Eli answered, "Now go in peace. May God bestow what you have asked." With hope she left, and even ate. Hannah's face was no longer downcast. Hannah soon gave birth to a son. With bursting joy, her heart was so full. "I asked the Lord for him," she said, and so she named her gift Samuel. Then came the time for Elkanah to worship again at Shiloh. Hannah said their son was too young. "When Samuel is old enough, I'll give him to the Lord," Hannah said. Hannah remembered the promise that she made. She brought Samuel to priest Eli, and that's where Samuel stayed. God blessed Hannah with many more children to love and raise and care for. Samuel served God in the temple. He lived with Eli and his sons. Samuel saw the sons' great wickedness. He tried to tell them to stop disobeying the Lord, but they would not listen. One night, while Samuel was sleeping, he heard a voice say, "Samuel." He ran to Eli and said, "Here I am." But Eli said, "I did not call you." Then Samuel went back to bed. Samuel heard a voice call his name 2 more times. Each time, Samuel ran to Eli. Finally, Eli told Samuel, "I think God is speaking to you. Next time, say, 'Yes, Lord, I am listening.'" Then Samuel went back to bed. "Samuel, Samuel," the voice said again. This time, Samuel answered, "Yes, Lord, I am listening." God told Samuel that Eli's sons were being very disobedient. God said that Eli and his sons were all going to die, and that's exactly what happened. From that moment on, Samuel gave messages to God's people. He was a special prophet of God. When Samuel was an old man, God's people said, "We want a king!" Samuel asked God for help. God told Samuel to warn the people about all the troubles a king could bring. Samuel warned the people, but they would not listen. "We want a king!" God told Samuel to give them a king. God led Samuel to a man named Saul. Samuel poured oil on Saul's head. This was a sign that Saul was God's choice for their new king. Saul hid because he was shy. The people found him. Then Samuel said, "Here is your king." Everyone cheered and shouted, "Long live the king!" Saul was a good king for about 20 years. Then he began to disobey God. God was sorry he had made Saul king. Samuel was sad about it too. God sent Samuel to a man named Jesse, who had many sons. Samuel thought they all looked handsome, like strong men. But God said, "I do not look at the outside of a person. I look at the inside of a person. I look at the heart." Samuel asked Jesse, "Do you have any other sons?" Jesse said, "Yes, his name is David. He is out in the field with the sheep." Samuel asked to see him. As soon as David arrived, God told Samuel, "He is the one. I want to be the next king." Samuel anointed David. He poured oil on David's head, and David was filled with God's power. Samuel served God his whole life. He led God's people, taught them God's word, and helped establish the new kings. The end.